Good evening. My name is Raquel. I'm from Peru, and I was raised in Jackson Heights. And my question is in regards to domestic workers. As you all know, domestic workers, nannies, and caregivers that make all other work in New York City possible often fall prey to cycles of abuse and exploitation by their employers. Immigrant women in our community tend to be the most vulnerable, as they may not want to reveal issues of abuse to law enforcement or city agencies for fear of deportation or other matters concerning their immigration status. How will the city council or the council member representing the city council ensure that immigrant women's concerns are being met without fear of persecution due to their status? And will you create cultural competency within the city agencies in District 25? Thank you.
The plight of women have always, rather than going ahead, they've been going back. I've been chair of the Women's Committee. I'm not anymore, but I was for several years. And the Women's Committee opened up issues that face every woman. Domestic violence, harassment, sexual abuse, domestic violence, human trafficking. They all involve every issue that you talked about and every female. And believe it or not, it's growing in the 25th District. It's growing in the city of New York. We have 2 airports, very easy to do that. For the first time, with a police department, did we ever get this issue in the category where it belonged. Human trafficking is no longer in vice, it's in human trafficking, because domestic workers end up, many of them, in human trafficking, and why they are so abused. The issue of how and where do they get their fair wages? How do we stop that? More CBOs, and every CBO in the 25th District through the Women's Committee, the first time addressing the issues that you have talked about. And as a result, they educate, they inform, they help, and they give legal services. That's what I do in the 25th District through my CBOs. Thank you.
The first thing that I would do is make sure that I always have staff members who can speak the language of the people who are coming into the office, that's number one, and who are culturally sensitive to the people who are coming into the office so that they have a welcoming environment, not a, stop them at the door type of environment. That's very, very important to addressing many of the issues that have been raised here. The other thing is that I've spoken with Local 6 and I'm in agreement with making sure that Local 6, the Hotel Motel Workers Union, that any construction that goes on in terms of domestic workers within the hotels and the motels, which I know many of them are not unionized or not actually in the union, but that we have a moratorium on that construction until we can guarantee that anybody who works in those jobs are union jobs. And of course, I deeply believe in culturally competent programs. The only way that you can really deliver social services is through culturally competent programs that can reach out to the communities that need those services.
Most of these domestic violence issues, the laws are already in place. There are state, federal, and city regulations and laws are already in place. The only thing is lacking. People don't know that. So how do you make people to know? It is not the money part here. Most of these laws are already passed, enacted from the federal government, the state government, to city government. In order to bring that law to the community, we have to work with the local community every day. As a lawyer, I know this subject thoroughly. I know this subject very, very clearly in details. When I get elected, my office, you come to my office, I will have other staff who are educated, legally knowledgeable people help you to charter through these laws what are your rights and obligations are. Thank you.
I think the issue of domestic violence is extremely important to talk about. I was very lucky a couple of years ago to be involved in a forum that discussed women's issues, especially Latino women's issues at Elmhurst Hospital. And the morning that we did it, it snowed, and it must have been about 2 feet of snow. And we were all worried that no one was going to show up to the forum. And I have to tell you, there were probably about 30 women that showed up to learn more about their rights. And it showed us something. It showed the city something, that people are interested in getting information. What we have to do is continue to give it to them. We have to go out into the communities. We have to go block by block by block to let people know how they can get this information, how they can find out about their rights, and it is extremely important that that is what we continue to do. People don't even realize half of the services that are provided to them or that they can get. It's extremely important that we continue to work with all different types of communities and reach out to them where they live and where they spend their time. Thank you.